Freshly squeezed juices. Are they a treasury of vitamins or a sugar concentrate? Imagine a morning where the sun is just starting its journey across the sky and you feel a slight fatigue after sleeping, but you already know that today will be a special day because in your kitchen stands freshly squeezed orange juice. It is bright and rich and looks like the energy of life itself, enclosed in a glass. You take the first sip and instantly feel a surge of vigor and the taste of summer and the aroma of citrus groves somewhere far away across the ocean. It seems like you have just made the right choice for your health, because how can something nature created be harmful? But what if I told you that this very elixir of health might not be as harmless as at first glance? What if behind this juicy wrapper hides not just a treasury of vitamins, but a real sugar concentrate that acts on your body almost the same way as sweet soda? Today, we will dive into the amazing and controversial and sometimes alarming world of freshly squeezed juices to find out if they are truly as beneficial as commercials and trendy bloggers, and even some doctors convince us, or if we have been harboring illusions for years without noticing how our habits undermine our health from within. During this investigation, you will learn how juices affect blood sugar levels and why even natural fructose sugar can be dangerous, and how manufacturers manipulate our ideas of healthy eating, and what alternatives exist for those who want to maintain energy and vitamins without harming their body. Are you ready to peek behind the scenes of this seemingly flawless product? Many of us grew up believing that freshly squeezed juice is something like liquid gold granted by nature specifically to support our immunity and overall tone. Our grandmothers cooked compotes and mothers squeezed oranges every morning before school. And modern influencers demonstrate morning rituals with green smoothies and carrot mixes on Instagram while using hashtags for health and pure energy. All this creates a powerful illusion that any juice squeezed by hand automatically becomes healthy. However, let us stop for a second and think about what exactly we get when we squeeze a fruit or a vegetable. In the process of juice extraction, we actually separate the liquid part from everything else. We remove the fiber and the pulp, and those very dietary fibers that play a key role in the slow absorption of sugar. Imagine that to get 1 glass of orange juice, you need to squeeze about 3 or 4 large oranges. Now, imagine eating those 3 or 4 oranges whole. How long would that take? How quickly would you feel full? Most likely, you would not even finish 2 because the volume and fiber would quickly signal your brain that you are full. But in the form of juice, those same fruits turn into an easily digestible liquid that you drink in a matter of minutes without feeling full while receiving all the sugar contained in those 4 fruits. And here lies the first serious trap, because the body perceives this sugar almost the same way as sugar from soda, since the absence of fiber allows it to be instantly absorbed into the blood. Scientific studies of recent decades increasingly point to the fact that regular consumption of even freshly squeezed fruit juices can be associated with an increased risk of developing type 2 diabetes and obesity and cardiovascular diseases. One of the large-scale studies conducted by the Harvard School of Public Health and published in the British Medical Journal showed that people who drank at least 1 glass of fruit juice daily had a 15% higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes compared to those who preferred eating whole fruits. At the same time, those who replaced juice with whole fruits reduced this risk by 7%. Why does this happen? It happens because the fiber contained in the skin and pulp of fruits slows down the absorption of glucose and fructose, which allows blood sugar levels to rise gradually rather than sharply. When we drink juice, this protective mechanism disappears, and the pancreas is forced to release a large amount of insulin into the blood to cope with the sudden surge of sugar. Over time, such spikes exhaust the pancreas and disrupt the sensitivity of cells to insulin and create ideal conditions for the development of metabolic syndrome. Interestingly, many people suffering from excess weight are sincerely surprised when a doctor tells them to give up juices, as they are convinced they are doing everything right by choosing a natural product instead of sweet drinks. But the nature of sugar, whether it comes from cane or beets or oranges, does not change its impact on the body if it comes in excessive amounts and without accompanying dietary fibers. But let us not rush to conclusions and write off all juices as something unequivocally harmful. Here, it is important to draw a clear line between fruit and vegetable juices, as well as how they are consumed. For example, carrot or beet juice, especially in moderate amounts and in combination with other products, can be a useful source of antioxidants and beta-carotene and nitrates, which help dilate blood vessels and improve blood circulation. However, even in this case, it is important to remember that a beet is a vegetable with a high glycemic index, and its juice in large volumes can cause a sharp spike in sugar. Therefore, many nutritionists recommend mixing vegetable juices with a small amount of fat, like adding a teaspoon of olive oil or avocado, to slow down the absorption of carbohydrates. An even more interesting approach is offered by the practice of green juices, where the base consists of leafy vegetables such as spinach and celery and parsley and kale, with minimal addition of fruit to soften the taste. Such drinks can indeed become a valuable addition to the diet, especially for those who lack vegetables. But there are nuances here too, because excessive consumption of juice from spinach or beets can lead to increased levels of oxalates, which is undesirable for people with a predisposition to kidney stones. Thus, even the healthiest juice requires a conscious approach and an understanding of exactly how it interacts with your unique body. Now, let us peek behind the scenes of the industry that has been shaping our perception of juices as a symbol of a healthy lifestyle for years. Billion-dollar brands starting from the 90s of the last century actively promoted the idea of juice as breakfast, while creating bright packaging and cute cartoon characters and advertising slogans about the power of nature in every sip. Often, these products contained no more than 10% real juice, and the rest was water and sugar and flavorings and preservatives. But even when it comes to so-called 100% juices, the marketing packaging can be misleading. For example, the label may state that the product has no added sugar, but it consists of a mixture of apple and grape juices, which are two of the sweetest and cheapest juices used as a base for sweetening other less sweet varieties. That is, formally sugar is not added, but the juice itself is already a concentrate of fructose. Moreover, many commercial juices undergo thermal treatment and long-term storage, which significantly reduces their vitamin value. Vitamin C, for instance, is extremely sensitive to light and air and heat, and by the time you buy a carton of juice in the store, most of this vitamin is already lost. Thus, you are paying for the illusion of freshness and benefit, while actually getting a product that is not much different from sweetened water with a light fruit flavor. This is especially important to understand in the context of the modern trend for detox juices and cleansing programs that promise to rid you of toxins and give you a new life in just a few days. In fact, the human body copes perfectly with detoxification on its own because the liver and kidneys work around the clock, and no juice will speed up this process. Moreover, mono diets on juices can lead to a deficiency of protein and fats and other important nutrients, while causing weakness and dizziness and even metabolic disorders. So, what should those who love juices and do not want to completely give up this pleasure do? The answer is simple, and it is about moderation and mindfulness and the right approach. First, try to limit the consumption of fruit juices as much as possible, even freshly squeezed ones. If you still want to treat yourself, do it not every day, but as a special treat. And be sure to dilute the juice with water or add ice to it to lower the sugar concentration. Second, give preference to vegetable juices or mixes, where 1 part of fruit accounts for 3 or 4 parts of vegetables. This will not only reduce the glycemic load, but also enrich the diet with phytonutrients. Third, never drink juice on an empty stomach, and always combine it with protein or fats, such as yogurt or nuts or whole grain toast. This will help soften the spike in blood sugar. And finally, remember that the best way to get all the benefits of fruits and vegetables is to eat them whole. Yes, it may seem cliché, but it is in their whole form that they reveal their full potential, because fiber and vitamins and minerals and antioxidants all work in synergy while supporting the health of your gut and immune system and metabolism. Even if you do not have time for thorough chewing, you can prepare smoothies where the entire structure of the product is preserved, including the pulp and fibers. Such a drink will be much more beneficial than any juice, even the freshest and homemade. Here we come to the most important question of why this topic is so important right now. We live in a time when the availability of information creates an illusion of knowledge, but actually often leads to confusion. We are surrounded by advice and recommendations and trends, and every day we face a choice of what to eat and what to drink and how to live. And in this flow, it is especially important to learn to distinguish true benefit from marketing packaging and trendy myths and outdated stereotypes. Freshly squeezed juices are a perfect example of how something that seems absolutely harmless and even beneficial can hide internal risks if used without understanding the mechanisms underlying nutrition. But this does not mean that one should go to extremes and completely give up everything that brings joy. Health is not about bans, but about awareness. It is about knowing what you eat and understanding how it affects your body and making a choice based not on fear, but on knowledge. Therefore, I urge you not to just take on faith what advertising or even authoritative sources say, but to ask questions and study and experiment and listen to your body. Read the ingredients on the package and try replacing juice with whole fruit for at least a week and notice how you feel. Do you feel more energetic or calmer or less hungry? Perhaps you will discover a new level of comfort and balance. And remember that real health is built not on one product, but on a holistic approach to life through variety and moderation and self-respect. So the next time you pick up a glass of bright juice, please pause and think and ask yourself what you are really getting from this sip. The answer might surprise you and perhaps change your attitude toward food forever.